stars. You've been locked in to Lady Marian, keeping your company here on this afternoon segment, taking you all the way down into the afternoon. Stay locked in here, coming your way. It's your favorite program, Arts in Motion, with Gabriela Esquivel, your local artist.
Welcome to Arts in Motion with artist Gabriela Esquivel. Conéctate todos los lunes a las 12:30 p.m. aquí por Omega Radio. Good afternoon. I am artist Gabriela Esquivel, and I welcome all of you to this 17th show of Arts in Motion. It's definitely a blessing to be able to be here in Omega Radio in Coral Springs together with my co-host Catherine Shapiro.
Thank you for asking me. I love being here. It's been a terrific experience. Thank you.
The same, Kathy, the same. So Arts in Motion, it is a program where we connect and collaborate with musicians from across the globe. And today we invited a musician from Puerto Rico.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, Puerto Rico has a very special place in my heart because I lived there for 11 years where I studied visual arts and music. And like 3 weeks ago, I reconnected with a friend of mine that is a singer, background singer of salsa musician there, and Víctor Manuelle. And so I met Juan Picorelli. Hi, Juan.
Hi. Hi. I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
More about you. How did you started in music and became such a successful percussionist and also band leader?
Thank you. Thank you. I start where I have 4 years. I start playing at church with my uncles, my father, and that's where all about start. Percussion, congas, a little bit of bongos. My uncle played timbales, drums, and trumpet too. And my other uncle plays bass and piano and guitar too. Yes, yes, all my life.
Mhm.
In which area in Puerto Rico was this?
San Juan,
Ah, okay, the capital.
San Juan.
Fabulous.
So, growing up, you went to a very good, recognized school in Puerto Rico, right? To fulfill these dreams of becoming a better percussionist. And
That's right.
how was the experience there? What's the name
Well,
of that school, too?
that's Escuela Libre de Música Ernesto Ramos Antonini in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. I started in 1996. That's when I was in seventh grade, cuando estaba en séptimo grado, from 7 to 12. Yeah, well, I studied in that school, um, everything like from fundamentals of the music, and then I started reading music. Um, that's when it all started, all those years.
Yeah, so you studied sight singing and some basic piano, maybe, to study harmony, right?
A little bit of everything.
A
Yeah,
little bit of it. Oh, that's good.
yeah.
And then, when was your first gig that you say, okay, now I am earning some money from my work?
When I was 16 years, I started playing with a Christian salsa duo. They used to sing together. They're sing now, but not that frequently.
Hmm.
But I started with them. I remember that they paid me for that gig $50 back in those days. But it was my first experience. Um,
And it doesn't
Play
seem like a lot
professional.
at first, but it is, because you're actually being asked to do something that people value a lot. And I wonder
Right.
what that feels like.
Right. Right. So
Absolutely.
that was my first gig, and I said, okay, this is I wanna do this for the rest of my life.
And that was in Puerto Rico.
Right. In Calle, I remember Calle,
Ay,
Puerto Rico.
Calle.
Sí.
Qué bien. ¿Ahí está el Paseo de los Artistas ahora? ¿O esto no es en Calle?
En Calle tienen una plaza,
Ajá.
Específicamente donde tienen como un tipo de concha y tienen música ahí,
Sí, yo creo
en
que
la
yo
misma plaza.
exhibí ahí. I think in Puerto Rico, in the place where he played that gig, I exhibit my paintings in the an activity called El Paseo de los Artistas.
And
If I,
what
Okay.
a small world it is.
Puerto
That's
Rico is
amazing.
wonderful. So, after he was in Puerto Rico for a part of his life, what moved him to Chicago was love
Well, of course.
and the church. Because
Right.
he met his wife at a church in Chicago, right?
That's right. In my uncle's church, my uncle used to pastor, so that's what I met my wife.
So how was those experiences and first years in Chicago? What did you
Well,
learn from that?
those first years, I remember that I wasn't playing at all because I moved from Puerto Rico directly to Chicago, but I didn't know any musicians there, so I went just playing, just working regular jobs, and después poquito a poquito me
Claro.
fueron conociendo. Some calls from Puerto Rico to Chicago. There's a guy that he moved from here, so if you want to call him because
Right.
he plays good. So call him.
Yeah, some word of mouth.
And that's why
¿Verdad?
that's
Absolutely. That's
But-
still the best way to do it, is word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Yeah, people know you better. But he was still being productive. And when he became a dad, he got inspired and composed a song for his daughter. We're going to
That's
play
right.
a little bit, and then you're going to share a little bit of the experience of how you got inspired in it.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yo creía que jamás me pasaría, que ella cambiaría mi mundo en alegría. Me quise alejar, la quería olvidar. Tantas cosas que pasaron por mi mente. Yo pensé en abandonarla para siempre. No quería aceptar, no quería afrontar, no quería darle cara a la realidad. Si no es por ella, hoy no sé dónde estuviera. Si no es por ella, caminaría sin rumbo. Si no fuera ella, la razón de mi existir, mi única estrella. Si no es por ella, no sé qué sería mi vida. Si no es por ella, le dio sentido a mis días. Si no fuera ella, mi más grande amor, mi alma gemela,
Greatest love.
mi alma.
The
That's
greatest
your
love of
kids.
all.
Your greatest love is for your kids.
You know, if we translate a little bit of the lyrics, it does talk a little bit about the fear that you felt
Right.
when you were becoming a dad, and that you, for a millisecond, like the lyrics say, oh, I almost ran away and I had to face this, and then I stayed, and then you're like my soulmate. All these
Right.
are the lyrics of the song. So how did you get inspired? Where were you when you wrote the lyrics, and how did it happen?
Esta te la voy a decir en español para
Okay.
entenderme mucho mejor.
Lo traduzco. He's going to say in Spanish and I
That's
translate.
all right, no problem.
Okay.
Pues mira, tal y como bien tú lo describiste, fue justamente así. O sea, yo era muy joven cuando tuve mi primera hija. Y pues todas esas cosas pasan de momento y uno se desespera. Yo tenía otro tren de vida completamente diferente al de ser papá. Y cuando viene esa experiencia de mi hija, me pasan todas esas cosas por la mente y empiezo a escribir esa canción. Empiezo a escribirla, a ponerle letra y a ponerle melodía. Y estoy pensando en todos esos procesos que pasaron en mi mente cuando viene esa parte de convertirme en papá. Pero te tengo que decir que de las mejores, te puedo decir, la mejor experiencia que yo he tenido en mi vida es ser papá. Eso no viene con un manual, no viene con instrucciones. Eso uno aprende poquito a poco y vas aprendiendo con la vida de las situaciones, los golpes que da la vida, pero es bien satisfactorio. Es bien satisfactorio ver a mis hijos crecer, verlos en todas sus etapas, desde que son pequeños y que son bebés, que tú los cargas, que le das comida, alimento, ya mis hijos ya son grandes, todos son teenagers.
Wow. So it was a blessing, and of course he felt all these fears, so he started writing the lyrics in one of his jobs that he used to do there. Now his daughter is 19, but he also has two more kids, two boys, and
Right.
they're all teenagers now. And it's been so rewarding for him to become a dad and be part of the growth of these, three human beings.
Absolutely, and I hear your children are also musicians too.
Yeah.
So-
Two of them. One plays on the bass, and the other one plays trumpet.
Fabulous.
But the
Yeah.
daughter, you know what? She's a visual artist.
Oh, there
She's
you
a
go.
really good one too. I saw her art, wonderful paintings, and she's going to become a surgeon, right? She
Yeah,
likes to do.
That
that's
is
what you want.
definitely a different
She's
form
gonna
of
be
art.
a
It sure
doctor.
is.
But how did it change you as a man when they told you your first baby was going to be a daughter, not a boy, a daughter? So how did it change you to treat women around you too? Maybe the different way or not? How did that happen?
It changed a lot because I have a sister. My sister is younger than me, and when they told me it's a girl, yeah,
Now you have a lot additional responsibility, maybe.
I said okay,
It's
this
definitely
is gonna be interesting.
interesting. It's definitely interesting. That's
Yeah. But I'm grateful. So yo estoy muy contento, muy contento con la vida que Dios me ha regalado, mi
Sí.
familia que Dios me ha dado.
And I've
Hello.
heard that you also have had a lot of great experiences singing with other female artists. Most notably for a fan like me is Aretha Franklin. And
Yes.
I'm just such a fan of hers, and I was wondering what the
How did that
experience is
happen?
like stands out to you as being.
That's a funny story for me because I was playing with a friend. I used to play Latin jazz in Chicago, and he's a great trumpet player from Chicago, and he told me, "Hey, bro, I have a gig that I want you to play. It's a singer. Her name is Aretha Franklin." And I said, "Okay." Like
You
like
didn't know
for
who she
me,
was. You
I didn't know. I just moved from Puerto Rico to Chicago, and
Yeah.
I didn't listen to all that music, and I didn't know. But when I went to the rehearsal, there was a whole band, like a big band. I was the four percussionists playing in that show, and for me it incredible experience. I have that in my resume. I played with Aretha Franklin.
Well,
So
that is just amazing because
it's amazing. It was
you
amazing.
learn a whole bunch of different things from people who are very famous and
Right.
when you're just starting out yourself. So my next question gets to be, what would you tell someone just starting out themselves?
Ok, esa me la repites tú para yo decirla bien.
Ok, ¿qué le dirías a una persona que está apenas empezando en la música?
Mi mayor consejo es estudiar mucho, practicar. Eso es muy importante. Y escuchar mucha música. Depende de lo que tú vayas a tocar, el género que te guste, pero es bueno escuchar mucha música. Así uno va aprendiendo y adquiriendo conocimientos hasta que tú mismo creas tu propio sello, tu propio estilo.
Tu propio estilo.
Ese es mi mayor consejo. Y no quitarse.
He said you have to be perseverant, but listen to a lot of music. Depends on the genre of style that you want to concentrate in, and practice a lot. Practice a lot, but definitely be perseverant. Stay active, and it's gonna take time, but you know he made it, and many others too. And I also read in your bio that you are a Grammy winner.
Yes,
You were
it was
part.
another experience. Yes.
Tell us a
I was
little bit
part.
about that.
Sí. Fui parte de an album from, it's a Víctor Manuelle's album. The album title is 25/7, like 25/7. De los 25 años de Víctor Manuelle. Fui parte de ese álbum. En ese álbum toqué conga y toqué bongo con campana también.
Ok, y entonces este álbum fue el ganador, ¿fue el álbum o
Ese
alguna
fue-
canción en específico?
Ese fue el álbum ganador, fue completamente el álbum completo.
¿En qué año fue eso?
Eso fue hace más o menos 5 años, te puedo decir como el 2019, si no me equivoco, algo así más o menos. Por ahí.
Okay, la música tropical, so it was in 2019.
Más o menos por ahí.
Album, more or less, the album for the band where he's the band director, the musician Víctor Manuelle, won the award of the best tropical album of the year.
It was his first Grammy. His first
was
Latin
his
Grammy.
first
First
Latin
That's
Grammy.
amazing. So what is the most difficult thing about leading a band?
Yeah,
¿Qué
I was
es?
part of that.
¿Qué es lo más difícil de ser el líder de una banda?
Wow. Yo te puedo decir que lo más difícil es tú como persona encargada, como el mediador, tienes que estar para todas las partes. Y tienes que estar para la parte del artista, la oficina, los músicos. Y tú estás trabajando con diferentes personas. Yo trabajo con más de 15 personas. Y toda persona tiene su carácter. Eso es un poco retante. Eso yo te puedo decir que es la parte más complicada.
¿Sabes?
Claro.
So it is challenging because he has to turn himself into many different persons, let's say, because he has to be like a more administrative personality. Then he has to work with the musicians, who each one of them has a specific personality themselves. He's also a musician at the same time. He has to do like office work and also analyze the arrangements, the compositions, the scores. He has the instruments there. ¿Puedes tocar un poco
Seguro.
de tus instrumentos y
There we
cómo
go.
es lo que tú haces en vivo?
Esto es un poquito. Esta es la conga. This is the congas.
Wow, that kind of strikes me like it would be very physically demanding after a point. I mean, do you...
This is the timbales.
There we go. Do you start off with one kind of particular drum that you really like and then maybe go into other different instruments? Or do you, when you get a song or a melody in your mind, does it come out in drums or does it come out in just something different?
It's just come on as something different. Then I start doing I grab the congas and then I start singing the melody or something like that, and then I put just the rhythm.
There you go.
Yeah, because Juan is also a producer himself, so he has some more songs, and Puerto Rican musicians are singing them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are composing, you start first playing the percussion, and then the melody comes to you? That's how your creative process works?
I start with the lyrics. Then I start with the lyrics first, and I try to put like some melody, and then I grab the congas and put some cuts.
Mm-hmm. Just a beat, and then it sort of builds on itself, kind of like a house where you take nails and wood and then put the walls up and then the ceiling and then the roof, so that every part sort of fits together.
Right.
And he actually
just like that.
He is the director of the band, and it's more or less 15 musicians that he has to work with. Now, when they are recording or working on a new music, he receives all the scores and the arrangement, right? How is the process of analyzing these arrangements?
Pues, es un proceso no es complicado. Te puedo decir que es bien interesante. Es bien interesante porque cuando empiezas a ver la música y ver lo que un arreglista está tratando de transmitir en ese arreglo a raíz de una composición que le dieron, es un mundo y se disfruta cada proceso, se disfruta, y cuando ya comenzamos a grabar, todo el mundo empieza a aportar también sus ideas dentro de lo que hay algo que está hecho, pero todo el mundo le pone un granito de arena a ese arreglo y se convierte en una obra maestra, te puedo decir.
Exacto, verlo crecer. Yeah, when they get to the recording studio, he have seen already all the charts, and he has to enter the creativity and the world of that arranger and try to really understand and turn into sound what is written in the paper.
And what that experience was that sort of brought the music to you is where you have to go. Athletes call this the zone. It's a creative zone where you can listen to just about anything and put it together into something that is a final product. And that's a gift that not many people have really well. And it takes a lot of practice and a lot of looking at all sorts of different points of view, I'd imagine.
Right.
So what's the most important skill you have as a producer?
Te puedo decir que el mayor es que me gusta darle la oportunidad a cada músico para que aporte sus ideas. Es como que lo más que me gusta, es lo que más me satisface.
This is wonderful what he says. He likes to take out the best of each musician that he works with. So he wants to give them the opportunity to express themselves, express their ideas, participate, be part of that creative process as well.
Absolutely. So if you have a lot of creative people in a room trying to do creative things, what happens when
there's many ideas. Which one to choose?
How do you make a choice as to what ideas are the best ones? And how?
¿Cómo tú escoges cuál es la mejor idea cuando mucha gente está aportando a la vez?
Ya ahí es escuchar, es eso mismo, sentarte a escuchar y analizar. Ya obviamente uno como productor de un tema, pues ya la decisión final, pues básicamente la toma uno. Sí.
Claro.
Hay muchas cosas sucediendo, pero al final del día tiene que ser algo que a mí me parezca que
And I'm
debe ser así.
curious how you know you finished.
¿Cuándo sabes que terminaste la canción?
¡Wow! Cuando ya la escuché y digo, ok, me parece bien.
Well, because
Es por intuition, por intuición, yo creo, y comparación,
Sí, básicamente
comparación
sí.
de otros temas anteriores, me imagino.
well, when Picasso got a painting together, and actually it was Jackson Pollock, he was asked one time how he knew his paintings were finished. And he said, you know how you feel when you're done, when you have met the person you love and you have been together, and you know when you're done. When that happens, when you find your one true love, that's what the song feels like, or that's what his paintings felt like when they're finished.
Yeah, it's like a sense of fulfillment. Just it's by intuition, in a way. I was the other day taking a class of a mixing class, and I made the same question to the producer, and she on the other side went based on a list of things that have to be completed and fulfilled. And once all the aspects of that list were ready, then the mixing process was
Well,
done.
some people are more ordered in their
Yeah,
thinking, and that's what
depends.
music brings you, a little order in your thinking. In fact, that's one of the benefits of having a really good musical education,
Right.
is having that logical part of you that functions so much better.
Yeah. So Kathy, other than playing with Aretha Franklin, he played with Paquito de Rivera, Gilberto Santa Rosa, the Chicago Jazz Ensemble, and many other musicians that I see here in this wonderful list. But he also has a trio that is called Trio a Tambor. And it's
Tría tambor.
Tria Tambor. No me lo termino de aprender. And and it's together with other percussionists from Puerto Rico that I had the pleasure to meet as well the other day, like 3 weeks ago, in
Giancarlo,
Víctor Manuelle,
right.
Giancarlo, and the other one,
The other one is Raúl Rosario.
Raúl Rosario. So this is a very, very nice proposal. It is Latin jazz, and we're going to have a little video that we're going to watch to close the interview. But in a little bit, how can you describe when you're creating the pieces and the performance? Because they rotate. All of them play the timbales, the conga, and the bongo.
Bongos.
Right?
Yeah.
And they rotate live during the song, during the musical piece. So, share a little bit of that. Cuéntanos un poquito de eso.
Mira, eso pasó porque los tres estábamos firmados para una compañía de percusión, y todo comenzó porque se nos acercan para que nosotros cada quien hiciera un performance, y nosotros tres, como nos conocemos, tenemos una amistad de hace muchos años, quedamos en hacer, vamos a hacerlo nosotros tres, y analizamos algo de que sea así mismo, rotando los tres instrumentos, porque va a ser algo llamativo. O sea, más bien lo hicimos por eso mismo, de que fuera algo que la gente se quedara con esa experiencia, tal y como tú la viste.
Sí.
Que dice, me impresiona porque en cada pedazo ellos nos vamos a parar y uno va para aquí. O sea, fue algo que hicimos con logística, porque hay unos patrones pasando entre bajo y piano que tenían que hacer cierta cantidad de compás y nos diera tiempo a nosotros cruzarnos para otro instrumento. Sí, eso, hicimos todo eso. El arreglo lo hicimos con un amigo de nosotros que se encargó de la parte de los metales, que se llama Juan Carlos Cardona. Entonces lo hicimos pensando en eso mismo, que nos diera tiempo a pararnos, pero que no se cayera.
Bueno, déjame traducir rápido, que nos queda aquí un
Sí,
minuto
sí.
para la entrevista, pero cuando nos vayamos vamos a despedir el programa con ese videíto de Tria Tambor. So he created this idea with two musicians that were working in the same company, and they needed to create a specific piece, and they just had the idea of rotating.
Oh,
And
okay.
it is a very organized thing to do too, because the arrangement has to give them time to rotate from one instrument to the other. So there's certain measures from the bass and the piano that have to be played. Meanwhile, they rotate
And
from
it
one
sounds
instrument
like a
to the other.
particularly physically demanding.
So we're
thing, too.
gonna
Yes,
say
yes.
goodbye
Yeah.
to the show today with this video. But first, we want to thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
It's
It
a
was
pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's a pleasure to get to know you better about your creative process, your music, and hope to stay connected. We'll see you later. Remember, everybody, the audience, we're here every Monday at 12:30 p.m. on Omega Radio for Arts in Motion. So
Thank
see
you.
you later.
And thank you.
Bienvenidos a Arts in Motion con la artista Gabriela Esquivel. Conéctate todos los lunes a las 12:30 p.m. aquí por Omega Radio.